Look, ladies and gentlemen, we got to discuss things involving the New York Knicks. Listen, Julius Randle right now is contemplating, surgery, and it has left the New York Knicks in a serious conundrum, if you ask me. I'm really stressed out about this because, in my belief, that Julius has failed the Knicks once again. The countless opportunities. I start to think should the Knicks have just got rid of him, because look what has happened. We are approaching the playoffs. The Knicks seemed like they had aspirations of doing something big. We had conference finals, this, that, and the third. And what's going on to this time? Julius Randle, now, sir, listen, injuries, you can't predict them. I'm not gonna ridicule this man for injury. But what I will say is this is just another, situation where when the Knicks need him, he may not be here. Um, I'm a little upset because he's talking about he's not going to rule out surgery for this dislocated shoulder. For the people that might not know what's going on, so I'm thinking, okay, if he has the surgery, his season ended. So um, he's being very naive on saying for sure, okay, the doctors have said it is going to require surgery whether he plays or doesn't play. Right now, the New York Knicks, like I said, are fourth in the Eastern Conference. They're a top five seed right now. I think everybody could say that. But Julius is the man. We know that Brunson does his thing, but Julius has to back this man up. Julius this season is averaging 24 points per game, shooting 47% from the field, 31% from three. The Knicks are going to need him desperately. I got the chief with me in the building. We're going to break this report down involving the New York Knicks. Chief, as I laid out, what's going on, what's your thoughts with Julius Randle? Has he failed the Knicks once again? And what's your thoughts on this whole situation?
Okay, just to be clear, I'm not laughing at his injury. Just to be clear, you know, me and Flight have a good. We me and I roast Flight about New York a lot. I do. So I know for you, Flight, this is like a punch in the gut. I know for you this is. I knew something happened. I was loosely following it, Flight. But when the news was brought to me that he's considering surgery, that's the first thing I thought of. Like I said, the season's a wrap for the season. It's a wrap for the season. Jalen Bronson cannot do it by himself. A healthy Jalen, in order for the New York to make noise in the playoffs, Jalen and Julius both must be playing at a high level in order for that to happen. Flight, it must happen. So it's by circumstances. I mean, you can't control injuries, Flight. I'm not, because this is New York, and because I'm historically Chicago, I'm not necessarily crying crocodile tears for the Knicks, but it's unfortunate, man. I because the Knicks, they made moves. It was like the Knicks was ready to take that next step. Joel kind of took a step back a little bit. The Knicks tried to catch up, and these windows, and this is the last thing I'll say, Flight, right quick. These windows of opportunity, man, with each passing year, those windows begin to close, Flight. You know, so it's unfortunate actually that he had to go to surgery.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely. Like I said, the Knicks are 33 and 22. Can they, let's say the season stopped today, could they beat Philadelphia? It seems like there's a situation going on with Joel Embiid. Um, we don't know what's going to happen with that. Can they beat Philly without Joel Embiid? And what do you think, even with him being hobbled?
Without Joel Embiid, can New York without Julius Randle beat Philadelphia?
Yeah, if they
No,
let's say something like that. Well, yeah, we got to add that in there. Can they beat Philly? Can they beat a Tyrese Maxey led Sixer team? Because they can.
no.
Maxey is a problem.
Maxey's a problem, bro. If Jalen, unless Jalen Bronson is gonna have his hands full with Maxey, unless they put
They
Jalen
got
on.
Josh Hart now. This is the Tom
That's
Thibodeau led team.
Yeah, so they may have to put hard on Maxey to kind of slow him down to keep Jalen fresh, or whatever. But without Julius to keep Tobias Harris and to keep Tobias and the rest of those bigs busy, Tobias is still a factor now. I know he takes the back seat to Maxey and Joel, but he is a problem, and they're coached by Nurse, man. I mean, Nurse is a championship coach. Tibbs. Tibbs has gotten close, but I mean, the coaching experience. They're two masters dueling, man. I mean, it's all those things. Without Randall, Embiid, they can get away, but Randall, it's that's a hard
Yeah.
that's
I
a
think it's
blow.
gonna be hard to beat anybody without Randall.
Yeah, that's a blow for New York, man.
I think even though Randall, what is the attention that he garners, even if he's not producing, he you got to double him. He
Yeah,
go into the paint. I mean, the defense is shifting that direction.
he's a
You know,
threat.
yes, so you lose that. And what does that do? They load up on Brunson. So you're right about that. And then that's when the undersized stuff really gets highlighted. Don't you think that's when they doubling and tripling Brunson? And I'm with you with Ty. You right about that. Now that I think about it, without Randall, if Philadelphia could really jump up on Brunson, and
Yeah,
vice versa, Indiana, I think that changes a lot. OG, I don't know. I think that Julius is the guy. I think OG was the guy to take a little bit of heat off Julius so Julius could do his thing. Because that has been the next biggest issue headed into the playoffs. It's been what we're gonna get out of Julius. That's been the problem. Julius had damn that. It was MVP caliber season. He won Most Improved, and they went up against Atlanta, and he no showed. And then against Miami, no showed. And then now is a situation where it could be another no show, but unfortunately, it's due to injury. So it's definitely sucks. And like you said, they don't get these opportunities. So, where do you see the Knicks with Julius, without Julius? How do they finish this season?
oh, man. I say I haven't. You have to look at the schedule because without Julius, the Knicks could fall. Flight, they could fall.
Yeah.
They could fall a few notches
And
down.
their next game, what's so crazy? Their next game is against Philadelphia
Yeah, here we go.
in Philly tomorrow.
Here we go in Philly, fresh off the All Star
Then they
break,
got Boston.
and then Boston. Yeah, see,
Whew.
they could fall down. Flight, they could take a step back. Maybe not out the playoffs, but they could take a step back. Another team could leap.
You're
Another
right.
team could leap above them.
They got a tough schedule. As the only team, so let me read the you got Philly, and then you got Boston, then you got Detroit. Now that's a good one, Detroit. Then you got New Orleans, Golden
Hmm.
State, Cleveland, Atlanta, Orlando. It's about to get tricky.
Yeah.
And then you got a back to back with Philly. So
What?
it could
Yeah.
it could get real. So we're gonna leave it at that. Shout out to the Chief. Make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports